In this video, I'm gonna give you some tips to improve your approach and get better results at the plate as a slow pitch hitter. So where you stand in the box, front to back, side to side, whether you're trying to go opposite, middle, or pull the ball, all these different things factor into your strategy of the plate, what pitch you're looking for, and understanding your own swing and your bat speed and your foot speed, all these things, how they can affect the pitch that you're looking for and what you're trying to do with it when you get that pitch. So in today's video, for slow pitch hitters, we're gonna go over some simple approach things that can help you optimize your game and get more and more impactful hits. First, let's talk about what type of hitter you are. So, are you a power or home run hitter? If so, then part of your approach is gonna be trying to lift the ball more often. If your team wants and needs for you to hit the long ball, then you'd rather make a few more flyouts or pop-ups trying to get under it, because you know that when you do get air under it and hit it well, it has a chance of leaving the ballpark. So if you're a home run hitter, then looking for pitches up in the zone that you can more easily lift is gonna be a good part of your approach and your strategy. Second, if you're a gap-to-gap hitter, meaning you've got a lot of doubles power, triples power, you'll hit the occasional home run, but more often than not, you're gonna split the gaps, hit a smash line drive down the lines that can roll to the fence, but you're not as often gonna hit it over the outfielders' heads. So if you're a gap-to-gap hitter in slow pitch, you wanna prioritize hitting line drives, because line drives are gonna give you the best chance of getting on base in general. And if you get a little bit of air under it, now you've got that good backspin to shoot it in the gap and get those extra base hits. And next, if you're a contact hitter, meaning most of your hits are gonna be singles, the occasional double mixed in, but more often than not, you're trying to get it through the infield, over the infield, and that's about as good as it gets. So if you're a contact hitter, you wanna err on the side of hitting line drives and on hitting the ball on the ground, because when you hit the ball on the ground, especially in slow pitch, playing on municipal fields, good things happen. You force them to field it and make the throw, right? Bad hops, ball sneaks through. We've got an aging shortstop who doesn't get to as many as he used to, right? So as a contact hitter, you don't want to be prioritizing high pitches in the zone that are going to be more likely that you're going to fly out, lift the ball as much. You want to probably see the ball down a little bit more often and hit those line drives, and if they turn to ground balls, totally fine. And then the last big thing about your approach is your speed. If you're really, really fast and you maybe don't have a ton of power, you definitely want to, again, prioritize ground balls and line drives, because you have a chance of beating those out if they don't field it perfectly and make that quick, clean throw. Now, if you're not fast, if you're a slower runner, you probably want to try to get the ball out of the infield. So even if you're a contact hitter, but you don't have a lot of speed, you're probably going to want to prioritize getting a little bit of air under it, trying to punch it over the infield, because you're going to need that to get to first base more often than not, right? So make sure you understand yourself as a player, number one. That's going to help you determine what pitches am I looking for, both laterally or both up and down, and in a moment we'll talk about laterally on the plate. Obviously, the pitch is going to come down an arc. I'm going to put a line here on the video. So if I'm more in the front of the box, or say I start close and I widen up in my stride, if I'm making contact up out in front of the plate here, this is going to be typically a much higher pitch as the trajectory comes in for potential strike. So if I want to put the ball in the air more often, say I'm more of a power hitter, or it's a situation where I want to pump it over the infield, like ground balls are not going to be good for me, maybe I'm slower, maybe the double play's in order, whatever it is, I might want to move up in the box, which gives me a much higher likelihood of getting a pitch that's waist high or above, that's going to be easier for me to lift. Now, say the opposite is true. Say we desperately need a ground ball, I'm really fast, we run on third, and if I just put it in play, chances are I'm going to beat it out, or it's going to go through the infield, whatever. Then I might want to move back in the box. And again, if I stride, widen up, that's fine. So I might start back here so I can end up around here. Now, if I make contact here, that pitch is going to be much farther along on this descent. You know, if they're going to throw it anywhere in a typical strike zone, that pitch is going to be coming down a lot more rapidly if I'm farther back. So if I really need to put the ball on the ground, I'm going to back up in the box probably and try to see if it's down. And I'm probably going to take a little more of an angled downward swing to try to chop that, and definitely try not to have any uppercut so that I can get that ball on the ground and do my job as a hitter. And also knowing yourself helps. If you chase pitches too high too often, going back in the box might really help you, because now if you chase that high pitch is probably not quite as high anymore, and maybe it's a little more manageable. This is actually something that I do. I will tend to want to lift the ball, but then if I go for this one, I pop out, I just can't get above it. So if I back up a little bit, now those high ones that might be a ball even are still more manageable, and I can get on top of them and hit them hard rather than just hitting a sky-high pop-up into the infield or short outfield. So think about where you're best and what you're trying to accomplish and what type of hitter you are and where you should be in the box to accomplish that. They have a really great infield on the left side, really great outfielders on the left side, and you really want to exploit their right side. So you might back up in the box. So now you have more plate to work with to try to go opposite field. Maybe the opposite's true, and you really need to pull the ball for some reason. You might crowd the plate, so now all this is potentially pitches that you can pull with authority. So just think about what you're looking for as a hitter, every single at bat, what you're going up there to do, and how you can optimize your skills. If you have just tons of power, you might not need to have too much of an approach, because as long as you smash it and hit it hard, something good is going to happen. But especially if you're more of a gap-to-gap or a contact type hitter, being smart about what you're trying to accomplish can really optimize the ability that you have and the bat speed and the speed, the physical speed that you have as a player. All right, so next big consideration for your hitting approach as a slow pitch player is where you're best, what field, pull side, middle, or opposite field is best for you. What are you strongest at? So number one, if you're a really strong pull hitter, so obviously when you pull the ball, you're gonna need to make contact farther out in front of the plate. This location, somewhere out here, if we wanna hit it on the barrel and hit it with authority, we can't be barreling stuff up on the part of the plate down here. We've got to get those pitches out in front. So I know that if I want to pull the ball, I'm probably going to be looking middle or inside. That seems obvious, right? But too often we just want to swing the first pitch, we get greedy and we start to try to pull these pitches outside, or our hips fly out, we try to go out here, and that's when we just hit easy rollover ground balls. So you want to be really selective. If I'm really strong to my pull side, I'm everything middle or in. Now, I could also, if I want to take away some of these outside pitches, I can crowd the plate a little bit. And I can say, all right, now I can really extend my arms and I can still pull that outer half pitch. So if that's part of your strategy, that can work as well. So just make sure you know, if pull side is your main strategy, that's where you're best. You got to hit the ball farther out in front. And if you want to lift it, you probably want to be a little closer up in the box so you can catch some of these out here and pump them out to left. Now, if your strength is more to the middle of the field, in slow pitch, you have more time and you can extend your arms, which with a lot less of a penalty compared to baseball. So if I'm going middle more often than not, I'm looking for pitches middle of the plate and away. These are the ones I can easily adjust and step into, and I can still extend my arms, get it out in front, and drive it up the middle part of the ballpark. So we are gonna get an inside pitch pretty far out in front of the plate on the inside part. When we're hitting the ball up the middle, we still want to make contact in front of the plate, but more close to the front of the plate. So we're going to let it travel a little bit more rather than if we were going to pull it. So middle and away should be our approach. That's what we're looking for if we're a strong middle hitter. And then lastly, if you like to go opposite field, say you're just good at going backhand, you can exploit that side of the field well, or if that's just how your swing works and you're good to this side, that's fine. What you need to know is you need to see the ball travel more. So we need to let it get deeper. You can't try to make contact here on a ball that you want to hit opposite field. You have to let it go deeper on the plate. So we're trying to make contact somewhere deeper down here. So maybe right there. And that means I want to let this pitch travel longer, and then I'm going to make contact somewhere like here. So inside contact, middle contact, opposite field contact. And then, of course, if you're an opposite field hitter and you want to open up more of the plate to yourself, what you can do is back off the plate a little bit more. So if you're out here, now you can let that pitch that's right down the middle or even inner half, you can let that pitch travel and still hit it pretty hard to the opposite field. So if you want to open up more of the plate to allow you to go opposite field, you can back off knowing that if it's way over there, you could probably still step into it, but now this is gonna open up more of the middle of the plate for you to drive to the opposite way. So hopefully those 3 buckets, whether you're a pull side, middle, or opposite field hitter, hopefully some of those little tidbits can help you figure out your approach and what you're trying to do and where you're trying to make contact. All right, so thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions or future video topics for me, leave them in the comments section below. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you here in the next video.